this valley.
Hello, everyone. I'm back once again with movie reviews. In this video, I will be reviewing one of the science fiction and adventure films produced in 2015, titled Jurassic World. Before we dive into the storyline of the movie, I would like to wish everyone a good and happy day. Now, let's go straight into the story of the film. Where we break down your favorite dinosaur thrillers. Today we're diving into Jurassic World, Bloodlines, a story set 5 years after Dominion. When an expedition heads to a forbidden island to collect dinosaur DNA, they find themselves trapped between monsters, betrayal, and a cure that could save millions. Let's get into it. Our story begins on Île Saint-Hubert, a remote island in the middle of the Atlantic. Years ago, InGen conducted secret experiments here, mutating dinosaurs to create transgenic hybrids. But one of them, a horrific six-limbed pterosaur called Indominus Rex, escaped, forcing the lab to shut down. 17 years later, dinosaurs have reintegrated into Earth's ecosystems. In this new world, a covert operative named Zora Bennett is recruited by a pharmaceutical CEO, Martin Krebs. He tells her that dinosaur biomaterials could hold the key to curing coronary heart disease. Zora is teamed up with Dr. Henry Loomis, a paleontologist, and Duncan Kincaid, the leader of their expedition. Their mission: travel back to Île Saint-Hubert and retrieve samples from 3 prehistoric giants. First encounter, Mosasaur, expanded. The expedition boat cuts across the rough Atlantic waves, mist hanging low as the team nears the Forbidden Island. The ocean beneath them feels unnervingly still, until a massive shadow begins circling just below the surface. Dr. Loomis whispers in awe, "That's no current, that's her." Suddenly, the water erupts in a violent surge. The Mosasaur, a prehistoric leviathan the size of a small submarine, bursts through the surface. Its jaws snap shut with a thunderous crack, sending spray high into the air. The crew scrambles. Zora steadies herself, raising the DNA harpoon extractor. Duncan Kincaid wrestles with the wheel, shouting, "Steady. Don't let it tip us." With the boat rocking dangerously, Zora fires. The harpoon slams into the creature's armored hide. For a breathless moment, it seems like the beast barely notices. Then the vial begins to fill, glowing with extracted DNA. The Mosasaur lets out a deep, bone-rattling roar before thrashing violently, nearly capsizing the boat. The crew holds on for dear life as waves crash across the deck. Then, just as suddenly, the monster dives back into the abyss. The water goes eerily still again. But every ripple reminds them that the predator is still out there, watching. Kincaid, first sample secured, but I don't think she'll forget us. The Delgados and Spinosaurs expanded. Shaken but alive, the team presses forward along the coastline. Through the mist, they spot something unexpected, a small raft, half broken and stuck against the rocks. On board is the Delgado family, parents clutching their frightened teenage son, stranded and exhausted. Zora orders the team to haul them aboard. Relief washes over the family, but it doesn't last long. From the dense jungle behind them, trees begin to snap like matchsticks. The ground vibrates under massive footsteps. Then, emerging with a guttural hiss, a pack of Spinosauruses crashes onto the beach. At the same time, the ocean churns violently. The Mosasaur has returned, circling, drawn by the commotion. Panic explodes. The Spinosauruses roar and charge the boat, their massive claws tearing at the deck. Gunfire erupts as the team fights back, but it only enrages the predators. In the chaos, Bobby is caught by a Spinosaurus and dragged screaming into the trees. Nina tries to help but is struck by the creature's massive tail, sending her tumbling into the surf, where the Mosasaur rises and swallows her whole. The Delgados cling to each other as the raft breaks apart. A sudden surge of water sweeps them away downstream, their cries fading as they disappear into the jungle river. Zora shouts after them, but it's too late. The group is splintered, the mission now tangled with survival, and the dinosaurs are closing in on every side. Titanosaur and Quetzalcoatlus. Pushing deeper inland, Zora's team finds their second target, a towering Titanosaur. They carefully draw a blood sample, securing their second dose of DNA. But as night falls, they approach a cliffside nest, home to the enormous flying reptile, Quetzalcoatlus. Sneaking into its egg chamber, they extract the third and final sample. Suddenly, the adult returns, attacking with brutal force and killing Leclerc, another team member. Now bloodied and broken, Zora and the survivors push toward the abandoned research facility for extraction. Studio microphone. The Delgados struggle. Meanwhile, the Delgados face their own survival nightmare. They befriend a small dino, Aqualops, nicknaming it Dolores. But their relief is short-lived, a T-Rex chases them downriver. Luckily, an emergency raft saves them, and eventually, they reunite with Zora's group at the facility. Mutodons and the return of Distortus Rex. Just as hope rises, a horrifying hybrid attacks, the Mutodon, a raptor, pterosaur crossbreed. A vicious swarm of them tears through the base. At that moment, a helicopter arrives to extract the survivors. But their escape is shattered when Distortus Rex, the original abomination, smashes onto the helipad, destroying the chopper and devouring Krebs alive. Zora rallies the survivors, leading them underground. Final escape, expanded. The survivors stumble into the facility's underground tunnels, guided only by flickering emergency lights. Every step echoes through the vast metal corridors, but behind them, the ground trembles with the approach of the Distortus Rex. Its monstrous screeches reverberate through the steel walls, a reminder that it's still hunting them. At the end of the tunnel, they burst into a hidden subterranean hangar. Rusted equipment and abandoned vehicles lie scattered, relics of InGen's experiments. But in the corner, floating on black, stagnant water, is their salvation, an old escape boat. The group scrambles aboard as the Distortus Rex smashes through the hangar wall, its 6 limbs clawing and wings folding grotesquely in the confined space. Sparks fly, metal groans, and the beast's distorted face locks onto them. Kincaid shouts, firing at controls to lower the gate. The boat's engine sputters to life, coughing smoke. Just as the monster lunges, snapping its serrated beak-like jaws inches from the deck, the boat surges forward. The survivors duck as the creature thrashes in fury, its claws raking across the dock, sending shards of concrete raining down. One massive swipe nearly capsizes them, but the vessel slips free into open water. Behind them, the Distortus Rex roars, a sound that shakes the cavern and rolls across the waves as they speed away. Its silhouette lingers at the water's edge, wings flaring, watching them vanish into the ocean. For the first time, the survivors allow themselves to breathe. They've escaped the island, but the monster is still alive. Ending, expanded. With all 3 DNA samples finally secured, the survivors collapse into the boat, exhausted but alive. The vials glow faintly in Zora's hands, a symbol of everything they've sacrificed, teammates lost, the Delgados nearly torn apart, and the countless dangers of Al St. Hubert. Dr. Loomis, shaken but pragmatic, breaks the silence. He tells Zora that these samples are worth billions, that the pharmaceutical industry would pay anything for a drug that could cure heart disease forever. To him, it's the discovery of the century, not just scientifically, but financially.